Imagine my surprise when a shoe company I'd never heard of approached me and asked if I would do a video about their shoes. Now, I've got some mighty strong opinions on the relationship between shoes and feet, but I couldn't think of any video in which I'd mention shoes specifically that might attract Fitville's attention. So I asked why they chose my small channel to promote their shoes. They said something to the effect that they liked the vibe of my channel. I thought about it for a minute and I said, I've got some really strong opinions on shoes, and most shoes I do not like, and I might not like yours, but I'll say exactly what I think. You sure you want me to do this? Well, yes, they did. I had hopes. Fitville's claim to fame is lots of toe room, good support, and some sort of new technology sole that should be extremely comfortable. And so I went one step further. I said, I wrote a newspaper column 35 years ago called Baby Feet and Grown-Up Shoes. I'll send it to you. You read that and then tell me if you want me to talk about your shoes on my channel. I sent the newspaper column. They responded. They wanted me to go ahead. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to read that short column to you so you'll have some background on where I'm starting from on this. I wrote this approximately 35 years ago, and it's in my collection of columns, Light and Dark. That's available as a Kindle book, also available from me. Baby feet and grown-up shoes. The reason I have trouble finding comfortable shoes is that my feet are normal and everyone else's are deformed. Look at a baby's foot. It's nearly blunt. The toes form a nearly straight, angled line from big toe to little. Each toe is straight. The big toe forms a straight line from nail to heel. Now look at your feet. Odds are the big toes are bent and touching the ones next to them. The little toes are likely curled and mashed into those adjacent. Feet are the same shape as the shoes they spend most of their time crammed into. We are, of course, appalled that the Chinese used to bind girls' feet to keep them from growing normally. When I was a child, my mother insisted that salesmen fit me with shoes that had plenty of toe room, heaps of toe room, room to grow into. Mom's motivation was stretching the budget, but her frugality allowed me to grow to adulthood with broad, straight, healthy feet. People who built adobe dwellings high above the canyon floors of Mesa Verde hundreds of years ago cut ladders of shallow toe holes into sheer sandstone walls to reach their homes. I wondered when I first saw them how it was possible to get enough support with fingertips and a couple of toes to lift a human body to the next step. I figured out the answer the summer I was 16. I wore no shoes that summer. I'd been wearing shoes the previous year that looked better than they felt. The resulting cortisone shots in toe tendons were not pleasant. It became more comfortable to wear no shoes at all, and by late August, my toes were spread wide as an Aborigines, and my feet were tough. Gravel became as comfortable as carpet. When my bicycle threw the chain on a steep hill, I put my bare foot down on the hot asphalt and braked to a stop. Those were feet that could have stuck all 5 toes into half-inch steps in near vertical cliffs and climbed. We, of course, consider barefoot peoples backward and unenlightened. I usually buy shoes a size too large and as wide as I can find. More than one pair of my tennis shoes, shoes that felt fine in the store, have holes cut in the sides for my big toes. Normal shoes force toenails to curl under and ingrow. Tendons turning unnatural corners become inflamed. When forced into normal shoes, my feet can't carry me far without distress. 20 miles becomes impossible. I bought a pair of hunting boots last year, ordered them plenty big and wide enough for 2 pairs of socks. Unfortunately, they forced my big toes out of their accustomed straight lines. My toes became numb after many miles up and down hills. They didn't fully regain feeling for months. I'd been getting away with wearing comfortable but unbeautiful shoes with my uniform for several years, but the airline recently dictated specific shoes that would be acceptable henceforth. I bought a famous expensive brand. They're stylish, they're good-looking, and they hurt like hell. I went back to my ugly shoes. A solution is to stretch the torture chambers with shoe trees. The problem with that is shoe trees are shaped to match shoes, not feet. I decided to make my own. I spent a few hours cutting, carving, shaping, and sanding 2 slabs from a 2x6 to reshape my hunting boots. To give you some idea of my problem, a 2x4 wasn't wide enough. I hammered them into my boots, smeared the leather with grease, and hung them over the wood stove. I don't yet know if this will work. I'll give it a few days and try the boots on. If it works, I'll whittle the trees down to fit my dress shoes. If it doesn't work, I'll bolt the shoe trees to broom handles and use them for oars. Okay, that was 35 years ago. The problem with buying shoes mail order from a catalog or online is the pictures do not show you the one piece of information you need to know if this shoe is going to fit. The online Fitville catalog is no exception. Oh, here's one that does, and this one says, you'd have to be insane to wear this shoe. Here's another one that shows the information you need. That information is how much space is there between the toes when you hold the shoes up side by side. Ideally, there should be no space at all. I ordered 2 pair of shoes from Fitville, a pair of sneakers, and a pair of boat shoes. The boat shoes look pretty good. Not too much space between the big toes, which means they can lie in the shoes fairly straight. And they're extra wide. But they're 11.5, just a hair over my normal size. I usually order 12s, no matter what the shoe is. The boat deck shoes are comfortable in the toes. The tennis shoes have excellent soles. I can stand on bare concrete at my lathe for hours in perfect comfort. But I can't walk in them, especially downhill, because my big toe is bent into the other toes out of line. Now, you may not think this is important, but you do not walk with your knee bent sideways, your ankle bent sideways, and you shouldn't walk with your big toe bent sideways. We need shoes that allow our big toes to lie straight, in line with the ball and the heel. The best example of this are these. So a message for the engineers and designers at Fitville and other shoe companies. Design the shoe so that the big toe is allowed to be in a straight line. It does not matter how much other toe room there is if the big toe is not allowed to be straight. And in your catalogs, show the plan view, the vertical, the bird's eye view of your shoes so we can judge whether or not they will fit. I think Fitville is onto a good thing, making shoes comfortable first and styling after that. But they got to make that big toe straight. So yes, I would buy Fitville shoes, but I'd be prepared to send them back if the big toe wasn't straight. Now, all is not lost. They did send me 2 free pair of shoes, and both are uncomfortable for different reasons, but I think I can fix them. You may recall that in that old newspaper column, I mentioned that I'd cut the sides out of the big toes of tennis shoes to give my big toe more room. Well, I'll try that here. Haven't done this probably 40 years or more. And for the deck shoes, a little bit of snipping to relieve my ankle, and they'll be good to go also. That toe does not like being bent. See if we can fix that. Hate to do this to new shoes, but see exactly where that sole is. Same inside and outside. If these were 12s, my big toe, instead of being up here in the corner, would be back here. and there'd be less pressure on it. I should have ordered 12s. I'll go back to doing that. See, we'll just cut this right here. See what that feels like. I normally wear socks, but nope, got to make that cut farther forward. I think all the way to there. See how this goes. Yeah, my big toe's right at the end of that shoe. Should have ordered 12s. Do that to the other one. And all the way up to, and go all the way up to here. Now you can't really see any difference, but my toe has a little more room. I'm going to cut that up a little bit. Yeah, I still feel that. Should have got 12s. Big toe's right there. I want it back here. Ooh, that ought to do it. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Now I've got comfortable shoes. I wear 2 pairs of socks almost all the time, largely because I buy oversized shoes and need to fill up some of that space. But I do not recall once in my life ever having blisters on my feet. Wearing 2 socks is the key. Okay, look at that. I got room for my big toes. These are now comfortable. Ugly, but comfortable. And I do not give a damn about ugly. Comfort is everything. Okay, those are fixed. Now these. But the problem with these is this catches me right here. And boy, is that smart. So we will see exactly at what point I need to cut this down. See, right there, it's just enough to... So that is this area right here. And make it a little more forward. Okay, I'm going to have to sew these up afterward also, but get out my Speedy Stitcher sewing hole and sew that up. So these shoes would have been perfect, well, nearly perfect, if this had either come up to here or dropped down to there. But now that requires just a little expansion. Trying to avoid shedding blood here. That'll do it. That's going to work too. Just that little bit. You have to wonder if the people that design shoes wear them to test them. I don't think my feet are that different from everybody else's feet. If that hurts my ankle, it's got to hurt everybody else's. But problem solved. And at my age, given the numbers of shoes I have now, I might not need any more shoes. But the next time I do need shoes, because these are so comfortable inside. I'll certainly give Fitville a good hard look, but I will be prepared anytime I buy any shoe or boot online. Be prepared to send it back. Or whip out a razor knife and make them fit. I'm sorry I couldn't be more positive in this evaluation of the 2 pair of shoes I got from Fitville, but as George Washington allegedly said, I cannot tell a lie. And if you want to order Fitville shoes, you can use a discount code OOT28, Oregon Old Timer 28, for a 28% discount. If I ever need shoes again, and at my age that's doubtful, I will consider Fitville, and I'll be prepared to send them back. I'm pretty sure I won't get any more requests from anybody to evaluate their products on my channel, but that's okay. Thanks for watching. If you're still watching, my big toe has room. Didn't like being shoved clear into there.